Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie with Natalie's Closet, and my computer is uneven. It looks to me like everything's lopsided. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. What can I put under there to alter that? Can you guys hear me first and foremost? What can I put under there? This card won't be. Oh, I have a stack of these I could put under there. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Am I here? Oh, I wonder if it's because. Ow! What? I wonder if it's because the feet aren't. I don't know. Did that make it look better? Maybe, maybe not. Sorry for all the earthquaking. Hi, Mom. Hi, Slauka. Are you guys here? Can you hear me? Oh, that may be too much. Now it's too much. What is happening? I am here. Hello, everybody. I can hear your audio. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now it's in the opposite direction. But it's better than it was. So anyway, or at least in my eyeballs, it's better. Okie dokie. Hold on, there's communication. Oh, I like those pictures, Mr. Boyfriend. Oh, he looks so good. He looks so good. I love pictures of him. Anyway, okay, so howdy, what's up, everyone? Howdy, Salka, how are you? I am here. Hi, Mom, I am here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Becky. I can hear your audio. Mine? I guess I should totally mute this. Somebody remind me to put volume back on. Later, I mean. And I had in cap. The reason why it was in caps when I said I'll be on in a second is because I had it in caps. Because in the chat, I wanted to remind myself somewhere that I would see it to check my power to make sure that, because the surge protector that we have in here, like one or two of the outlets will continuously charge. The other ones will go to sleep after a little while, and then another one, I don't know, it's weird. So I wasn't sure which one I had plugged it into. So I had it in caps in the little chat thing, check power. So when I typed in, I'll be in the second, I didn't realize it was still caps lock. That's why I was yelling. I mean, I wasn't yelling, but that's why it seemed like I was yelling. Anyway, how are you guys doing? What's going on? What are you working on? My hair. I was late, and I apologize because Mr. Boyfriend didn't get home until like 5 or 10 minutes before 8. And so we hadn't eaten or anything. So he made us a couple sandwiches because I was trying to like kind of get ready. And then we sat down, I scarfed down a sandwich, and I wanted to put my hair up. I wanted to do a couple things before coming on, and yeah, I was running late. So sorry about that. Hey, Pam, welcome. How are you? Okay, you guys are awfully quiet, not talking. Did I say something wrong? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so there's a lot to cover, which you kind of saw in the title and in the description box if you read it. However, I'm going to try to keep it right around an hour, maybe hour and a half. We all know me. Sometimes that leads into 2 hours, but I'm a little bit, well, actually my neck and my head are hurting. And Mr. Boyfriend's super tired. He was at work all day and had a long day. And yeah, anyway. And I always get up with him in the morning, whether it's at 5 or 6 or whatever. And then I'm just up for the rest of the day until we go to sleep. But anyway, that being said, okay. Update on Mom first. Hey, hold on. We're just listening like good students. There you go. Hola, Maritza. How are you? Welcome, my friend. So anyway, update on my mom. As you guys know, she had to start chemo again. Well, we found out in January she was going to have to start chemo, and she started in February, and she had 3 rounds of chemo. She actually, we came back from Florida. What day? The 21st, I think we were back home already. And we had gotten down there. We were at her house because we stopped in Indy for the night. But we got to her house Tuesday the 16th. And she had her 3rd chemo the week before, the Thursday before we got there. And then she was having her first CT scan a couple days ago, I think on the 29th, to determine the doctor. Okay, when we saw him in January, he was like 3 to 6, anywhere from 3 to 6 chemos, which of course, when somebody is told that, you kind of look forward to the 3, not the 6. And which is something that frustrates me that they do, but anyway, whatever. So with a CT scan after 3 to then decide, well, evidently in his mind, he was figuring it was going to be at least 4. And after the CT scan, that was going to determine, was it going to be 4, or were we just going to do the full 6 cycles? Well, she had the CT scan, and a couple hours later, she had the visit with him, and we Zoomed or video chatted to get in, with the doctor. So I got to see him and talk to him and stuff. And he was pleasantly surprised. He didn't know what to expect, but he wasn't thinking the results that there were going to be after 3 chemos. He was expecting it not until at least 4 chemos. But he said all but one of the tumors were gone, and the one that was still there had shrunk significantly. So he was like, we have a couple options. He's like, one, we can go ahead and try to do more chemo, but as bad as chemo is for the body, do we want to go and do that when it may not really have that much more effect on it? Or just go ahead and stay with the maintenance chemo of Herceptin, which she's going to have to be on indefinitely every 3 weeks, which is an HER+2 inhibitor. But I guess even if there is some chemo left, it will also still fight it as well as inhibit the growth of any new. So, of course, that's the way, my mom was very excited about that. And I thought it was a good plan also. So, she won't have another scan until sometime in July. But at this point, the cancer, the chemo worked on the cancer, and there's only a little bit left of one tumor. And we're hoping that the Herceptin gets rid of it by the time she has her next scan. Well, before that, but that by the time she has her next scan, it's all clear. So yay for that. Thank you for all the continued thoughts and prayers for her. We all very much appreciate it. And I know I thank you. She thanks you. Mr. Boyfriend thanks you. And of course, Miley thanks you, who is laying totally on her side under the desk, which is just what she does anytime I walk into this room. Anyway, so thank you so incredibly much. So that's the update on Mom. 16th of April. Oh, that we got there. Yeah. I'm sick. Neck and back has hurt all day long. Pain pill and a neck brace seems to be helping, so I will be quiet. Oh, I'm so sorry you're hurting. I know what you mean, because my neck and head are hurting. I was using the massager. I laid down on it for a little while before Mr. Boyfriend got home, and I was like, oh my gosh. But so I feel your pain. Almost literally, but not your pain, but my pain that's similar. But I hope you feel better, and I'm glad that the pill and the brace seem to be helping. Now here's hoping it just goes away completely. Hey, Doris, welcome. How are you? Very happy for her. Yes, me too. Thank you, Becky. That's a great update, Miss Larissa. Yes, thank you for the prayers. I'm sorry you're hurting, Becky. Yeah, so we got to, Mr. Boyfriend and I and Miley got to meet up with Becky again on this trip, which I have several videos that are going to be going up. I just have to actually get them together, edit them and stuff. But there's going to be the yarn shop tour in Indianapolis, then a video that has the meeting with Tammy with Twisted Stitches, Becky, and the outside view of Ruby and Rose's studio. I absolutely adore her yarn, and I actually have some, which you guys are going to get the sneak peek of the yarn from the Indianapolis yarn shop. So yay for that, and which is what I've done the last visit that we did to Florida. But so you'll get that sneak peek, and then but anyway, so I have the yarn haul video, that video, the yarn shop tour, the video with the friends, the yarn haul, then then the yarn haul from that you're also going to see in advance of some of the sale yarn I was getting at, like Michael's, a couple of secondhand stores, Joann's, etc. And then one for Premiere. I haven't placed that order yet. I'm not sure when I will, but then Michael's video, yarn haul video, and then a Premiere yarn haul video. And then I'm also somewhere in between that, I'm hoping to do the big giveaway that I've had set up and everything, just haven't done the video yet. Ads are going to run. I have it set for every 24 minutes because I think that's longer. The time frame is longer between ads than it was before, because it seemed like people were getting like bombarded with ads, and that's just not cool. So anyway, a big giveaway that's going to have 4 winners in it, and it's quite a decent setup of yarn. So that'll be sometime in between. I still have to record that one, and I need to figure out how to record it so that it's not like a super long video, but it's going to have to be in order to show all the yarns that are going to be won for the different levels of so I don't know, I still have to figure that one out. Anyway, and then I guess I could tell you the craft fair update or plans. I'm looking for some craft. There was one that would have been cool to do. It was in a nice area, but it's a super regimented, regulated, I don't know which way to word it. They have a panel of judges that review each person that's coming in. And then it's decided after the judges come together who gets to be in the craft fair. And the artists that are there are serious, like high level artists. Now that would be the place to sell my hand dyed yarn type like shawls and stuff like that. That would be the perfect place because everything there is pretty expensive. But the entry was over already. So I am trying to find a couple craft fairs to do in the fall and winter. So I am going to be making, I have like 8 or 9 different patterns of like stuffies that I want to do. The only thing is I'm having to try to figure out how to make them large with like what I have. And one of the things I'm going to be adjusting the pattern to make it basically double the size. But I can't do that on every pattern because otherwise it's going to take forever. But I am timing how long each thing takes so that I can determine which ones are cost effective, time effective, everything else. I mean, if it's going to take me 2 hours to make one stuffy, that's just too long. I mean, depending on what it is, but so I'm timing everything. And then I'm making a bunch of loveys like Zelda, her pattern with the little stuffed animal inside and then the little lovey blanket, the little square around it. I'm making a bunch of those, which that's what a lot of this yarn is for all the animals that we had picked up. So there's a lot of stuff that, fingers crossed I can get some at craft fairs that don't cost too much, but that are in areas that are nice enough that I can do some of my hand dyed finished objects, but yet still have a wide variety and quantity of small, less expensive things. as well as maybe a couple of baby blankets that are easy and quick to make, and maybe a couple scarves and a bunch of hats. I'm going to do like easy hats and scarves so that I can get them done with 1, 2, 3, not eat up a lot of yarn. I will post everything on my Etsy shop and maybe even on Facebook Marketplace to try to sell them beforehand to make money. But I'm going to play that one by ear. Okay. Anyway, sorry to hear about your pain, Becky. It won't ever go away since my back's bone on my neck. Anything's possible. LOL. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. And I'm so sorry, Becky. I just had to get a tetanus shot and antibiotics. I stabbed my finger with chicken wire and it's been 10 years since my last booster. Oh my gosh. Doris, I'm so sorry for that. Well, here's praying that the tetanus shot and the antibiotics take care of everything and that you heal completely and, well, quickly if possible. Ouch, Doris, I'm glad you got your booster. Doris, ouch. Hello. Hey, Chrissy, welcome. How are you? I thought you were out and about. Anyway, so, yeah. I had put, because I recorded the video for the local yarn shop tour yarn haul, I went ahead and I put, yeah, you can see it. This is all of my shandy yarn right here. That's all shandy yarn from Expression Fiber Arts. Let me tell you, putting any kind of yarn in this thing is so aggravating. I love it, but it's so aggravating because it falls out all the time from the side because it's not like solid shells. Oh, I guess we could put a piece of wood or something maybe to stabilize it. I don't know. We have to figure something out, but it's so frustrating. Like everything on here is on here like Slavochasta, which is kind of like by the grace of God. Otherwise, it's like going to fall. I mean, you breathe on it and everything's going to fall out. Oh my gosh. It took me literally like about a half hour, almost 40 minutes to transfer my shandy yarn from that cubby to up there and try to reposition everything that fell, everything else that fell, plus everything that was falling from that shelf. Anyway, so I pulled out all of that yarn up here so I can show that to you and put it back in there. Then I have the stuff I got from like Michael's and stuff like that. The Michael's yarn haul, and it'll be small, but that I was talking about. That's why I was going to pair it with Premier, but I'm not doing that order yet. Although I kind of need to, but I'm kind of hoping that Parfait Chunky is going to go on sale. I don't know. Fingers crossed it does it in like soon. But anyway, that was Michael's online stuff because they didn't have it at the store. Oh, wait, that's another video because I did a video at each place that I went to and showed the yarn and talked about a little bit of it. So that's another video. Which, depending on how long it is, I could do it as a short video, as just here come shopping with me. I don't know. I'm going to play all that by ear because I haven't looked at like the times of each video segment. But so I have that yarn here. I have the other yarn here. So that was the local yarn shop. That. I told you about the craft fair. I can show you the two things I have done so far, as far as like for the craft fair. Although I was, oh yeah, that was going to be in a video also, but that I was going to wait until I had more finished objects and just show finished objects, not as a, whips and then finish. Just once I had a bunch of things finished, then do a video. Stopping by to say hi. Hey, Aisha, welcome. How are you? Hi, Chrissy. Check Walmart online. It might be cheaper there. They don't have. I didn't find the Parfait Chunky there, and honestly, Walmart is. I was shocked at the prices, personally. I mean, I guess the mandala being at $5.60, whatever. I don't know. I remember it being cheaper, but my Walmart had like no selection. Walmart online, I don't recall having seen the Parfait Chunky. I did see it, I think, on either Michael's or Joann's, but Joann's, oh dear God, the prices at Joann's are flipping ridiculous. Parfait Chunky, which this is I've already started this skein, but Parfait Chunky on Premier's website, which has been the cheapest. No, it hasn't been the cheapest. Is I want to say $4.99 if I'm remembering correctly. I found it on Hirschner's for I think $3.99. However, their shipping was going to be the same as Premier. Now with Premier, I was able to get free shipping once I hit $75. And it ended up only being a $20 difference between paying $15 in shipping and getting some yarn and getting like 4 more colors and like 6 more skeins for $20 more. It was either $17 or $20 more. So, but that was more money, you know. And anyway, but Parfait Chunky on Premier is $4.99 retail, not on sale. I went on Joann's and I swear to you, I want to say it was like 6 something, if I'm not mistaken. There was another yarn on Premier's website, or maybe, yes, it was on Premier's website. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like $7.99 on Premier's website, and it was like $11.49 on Joann's website for the same thing, same yardage, same everything. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? I'm like, that is such a ridiculous ripoff. I mean, unless you run super big sales. And now granted, there were a lot of things I said. I said in the videos, I'm like, I don't know if this is a good price or not, because I haven't shopped for these kind of yarns in years, like multiple years. Parfait Chunky I had, and Sweet Snuggle, Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles I had because I was making the bees and I had started making the stuffies. But when I got a lot of the Parfait Chunky, it was like 3 for $10 or 3 for $9 or whatever it was. So at that time I had like stocked up, but I've used a lot of it. So what I'm trying to do is, because I only have like, I think 6 colors of the Parfait Chunky, but I have like 8 different stuffies, and I'm trying to use what I have. So a lot of them are going to be either the same colors or, you know, however it's going to work out. But I love my colors that I have, and there are a lot of colors that like I'm like ugh, when I saw them online. But anyway, I will check Walmart. But I gotta say, Walmart, I was not impressed with their prices, and I don't know why this yarn band is like falling off of this skein. But anyway, I wasn't impressed with, well, in store, our Walmart. Wait, which Walmart? No, I went to the other Walmart. I didn't go to our Walmart, but they tend to have a lot of the same selection of stuff. So I don't know. I will check online. I'll check and see what it is. You know what? Let's do that together. Let's go to Walmart. Walmart.com and look up Parfait Chunky. Premier. Nazdravya. Premier. An ad is going to start. Premier Parfait Chunky yarn. It's $4.99 on Premier's website. It's $7.99 on Walmart. I mean, really? Are they just figuring people are going to assume it's Walmart, so the price is going to be cheaper? I don't know. Maybe people do. I don't know. And I don't know. Maybe they do. The only thing is Hirschner's, it was $1 cheaper. The pixie dust and Premier was on sale. Instead of 4 something, it was like $3.99 or 3 something. But it was regular price at Hirschner's. But with the shipping, it basically came out to the same price as ordering from Premier. And Hirschner's didn't have the Parfait Chunky neons, which I was really hoping to grab 2 colors of. They do have $8.99 for the Parfait Chunky Pom Pom. You know, that's just so beyond frustrating to me that they're like basically Joann's. They are basically like Joann's when it comes to the increase in price. I'm trying to find my Premier order so I can confirm, but I know it's like $4.98 or $4.99. $4.99 for Parfait Chunky on Premier's website. I have it right here. And Pixie Dust is normally $4.99, but on sale over $3.50. So you definitely have to check the prices and not assume that because a place is typically cheaper on stuff, which Walmart is no longer really cheaper on stuff. You have to know your prices. Just like at Goodwill, you have to know your prices. I said it in the video. I was looking at some of the yarns and I'm like, okay, I know I haven't shopped for this kind of yarn before, but this seems like retail, if not more expensive. And so there was another lady that was standing there, and I had said something because I was recording, and something I said in the video she was responding to. And she's like, well, they have some more over here. And she goes, I haven't really bought this kind of yarn in a long time. She goes, but she's like, well, this might be a good price. And whatever it was, I happened to have seen, it may have even been Premier. I can't remember, but I had just seen a price for it. And the price that they had on it at Goodwill was like $1 more than what it would have been retail. And you don't always know, like you can't always tell if something like this guy, I had used I don't know, not a ton of yards. I don't even know what kind, maybe 50 yards out of it, something like that. But you can't really tell with that amount of, well, maybe not 50 because there's only 200 some odd yards in here. Oh no, there's only 131. So maybe it was like 10 or 15 yards, but I still used some. So you can't always tell if something has been, if there's anything missing. So with Goodwill, even though that you may find some that, well, 3, I know you can tell that they've never been used because you just could tell. But has some been used, and you're going to pay the same price, if not a little bit more there than getting it at the store. So you really have to know your prices, and not just on yarn, just on anything, games, clothes, whatever, because you never know. But there are times that you can find things at like Goodwill or other secondhand stores that they don't realize, and people that gave it away either didn't care or didn't realize what they had. And now you're finding something that could be worth, they're selling it for $2.99 and it could be worth $100, or more or less, $50, something like that. So it's like kind of like you don't know which way, but you need to know your prices anywhere you shop. And I always try to check, multiple places. But anyway, okay. So let me go ahead and show you the two things actually the one I haven't totally finished, but as far as a lovey, I did this one. Look at him. Isn't he cute? He's a bat. Where's his other wing? Oh, they're closed. But he's a bat. And he's got those green sparkly eyes. And this yarn is totally it's not being picked up properly. It's actually this yarn right here. But it's like a nice bright, not neon, but a nice bright green. But he is just adorable. He's a Beanie Baby. And so but this took the entire skein of yarn to make this lovey. I don't think, I have a little tiny ball of leftovers, and that's it. I mean, it's 9 rows, but it's adorable. It's really cute. Who am I missing? Hopefully I'll be back. Gotta run into the store with the family. Okay, no problem, Doris. I hope you'll be back too. But if not, thank you for stopping by and giving me a thumbs up. Okay, so that's one thing. And I've got like a bag of animals. And the yarns that I got that I'm going to show you match all but 3. Because the 3 that I've left over are very difficult to match. And I was going off of a picture, and that doesn't do it justice necessarily. So there's another ad. You know what? I think I'm gonna skip this ad. And hold on. I'm gonna go into the settings, and 30 minutes is the most option I have. I mean, I could do But you know what? I forgot to change a different setting. Hold on, give me 1 second. When it comes to the comments, I want to make sure that the comments are set to post after the, because I've noticed a lot of lives don't have the chat in it, and it's because they've changed it. You have to actually go in and choose to let it be there. Choose if and how you want to show comments on comment moderation. Okay. So show how many viewers like the, okay. Where is the option? They put it somewhere, and it's like you really have to like pay attention to it. All right, I think, oh, customization, maybe it's there. Live chat replay. Okay, so I have it checked off. Live chat replay shows the original messages sent anytime someone watches the video recording of your live stream. Okay, so I'm glad that that is now like a setting for my lives, because sometimes I've missed that, and then the comments aren't there, the chat's not there later. I removed my suggestion about Wally World. Okay, no problem. So then one of the other ones that is a new one to me, and I'm doing no sew patterns, period. I am not sewing parts on anymore. This one has 2 separate parts, but you're not actually sewing it. You're just, when you're on that row of single, I think this was single crochets, you just sew into it and attach it. Okay, that I can handle. But when you have to have the tail and you got to sew it in and find the perfect, not happening. So anyway, this one though, so far on my timer, I haven't worked on it in a couple days, but on my timer, it's already taken an hour and a half. Granted, there were a couple of things that didn't seem quite right, and I had to redo it, and I had to go back, and then I decided to change and whatever. And it should have a white bottom, but I don't have the white, so I did it like a mint green. I don't know what this one's called. Sea glass, this one, but it's a whale. Now, the way the pattern is written, now this is Parfait Chunky, which is a 6. It's considered a super bulky. Not so much. Now I remember why I always double stranded it. But again, I'm needing my yarn to go as far as it can, so I'm not double stranding it. But this thing is like tiny, and I'm like, what the heck? This is not a Natalie's Closet make. So I was talking to Mr. Boyfriend about it, and I was so frustrated with it. And he's like, yeah, but you have to think about it. It's like a perfect size for a little kid's hand. So they're going to grab it and be like, mommy, I want this type of a thing. However, it's not necessarily cost effective for, like, I don't see that I could charge more than $5 for it. And with the time that went into it, granted, I could get a few of them out of the skein. It just, I don't know. And plus it's so small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo the pattern, and I'm going to double it basically. Well, I'm going to make sure that the numbers work that way, but I'm going to basically double it. And then I'm going to have a mom and baby, and I'm going to sell it as a set. But I do think I may still sell or have a couple of babies available to buy, but not have it like advertised to buy. And I think I'm going to do the mom and the baby like for $20. But this is the whale. I didn't finish the bottom yet, but this is the whale. I decided to do orange sparkle eyes. You can't really see it, but anyway, he's really cute. Now, the one thing is once it's closed up, she had white on the bottom. So I would be doing this mint green or sea glass, but she had it go. She took the darning needle and she pulled it up through the top so that it can kind of like pull up this front. So it was kind of like that, like the front was kind of pulled up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I kind of like the way it is, but I thought he's adorable. But I mean, look how little he is. I mean, this isn't my kind of stuff. I make big, like I make my big, bumblebees that are like a pillow, not a little thing, but it's adorable. So, and I don't understand why this end keeps popping up. What is happening? I don't know how many times I've pushed it in, and I haven't even touched it since the last time. It's like something is creeping in here, and pulling this end out. Anyway, so I'm going to redo the pattern, double size it, and, excuse me, make it, time it, and see how it works out. But if you have 4-ply acrylic, make a few octopus their patterns, I'm sure. Yeah, well, this is thicker than a 4-weight. So I would rather be using this. And this is basically what this and Loops and Threads. I always forget the name. Loops and Threads, Sweet Snuggles is what I typically use for my stuffies because it is thicker. Bernat blanket yarn technically is thicker than Parfait Chunky. I just don't like working with it anymore. I used to only use it for baby blankets, but I don't like, they changed it in the last few years and it's not, it rubs my fingers the wrong way. And my hands are already so dry, I just can't afford to do that. But there are a couple of chenille yarns that are thicker than this that I could use. I do have all the little, fluffs everywhere, like on the carpet and stuff. I have to vacuum that and stuff. But that yarn might make a really cute octopus. I have an octopus pattern that I have an octopus. Oh my gosh. Actually, if I take out the lovey, the hats, the scarves, I have 15 stuffies. Well, I have scrunchies in here also. And like I have coasters and like stress balls and stuff like that. But I have a stingray, I have jellyfish, I have a whale, well, the whale. I have also market bag. I forgot about that. So I could take that out of a stuffy. But I have a mini octopus, which is supposed to be no sew, but it's like really mini. So I do have another octopus pattern that I have to find. So yes, I'm looking forward to the jellyfish. The jellyfish is a no sew. What? You have all those tentacles and it's somehow a no sew pattern. So I'm going to check them all out. I'm going to see how long they take and how much yarn they use and go from there. And then of course the loveys. The lovey, my first one took 2 hours, which is a long time. But I had to redo it a certain area a couple times and make it like, I don't know, but that, once I'm doing it regularly, I'll cut down on the time. That I'm using acrylic yarn for. I don't want to be using these yarns because even though these are acrylic yarns, these are like premium acrylics and stuff that I got from, oh my gosh, I forgot the store, but in the UK. So, this was not necessarily the cheap acrylic. So I would rather not use it. I did use it for that one because it just matched the eyes perfectly. But, yeah, so, I know you're like the first person on the list for a coaster. Don't worry. Hello, Nifty. How are you? Welcome. Yes, my yarn collection, my prize collection are all my hand-dyed yarns, which in one of my videos I did ask, because when I unpacked my hand-dyed yarns, we went through and counted it and stuff. However, a lot has been added to it with the different yarn hauls and stuff. So I was wondering, I asked this in one of my videos that I haven't posted yet. Would you guys want to do either a live or something where I'm actually going through all of them and we're counting it, but we're going through and, whatever again, or no? Totally fine with no. I just figured I was going to ask that question. So you guys are the first ones getting that question. Okay, let's go ahead and do the yarn haul from Indianapolis because time is flying and I still have to show you other yarn. So this is from Mass Avenue Knit Shop in Indianapolis, Indiana. We, on our way down to Florida, we stopped in Indianapolis because we wanted to go see a concert that Sunday night. And so before we left to head down to Florida on Monday, if we had enough time, we were going to stop at the yarn shop. We were going to have enough time, and we stopped at the yarn shop. So Mass Avenue Knit Shop is amazing. Susan is the owner. She's awesome. Very laid back, very calm, very welcoming, very just eclectic. And she was sitting at a table with a bunch of other ladies working on a project, having conversations. But as soon as she saw you, if you had a question, she was like, bam, she was like right there to answer the question. No pressure, no nothing. Very just, it was and huge. The shop was huge. And of course, every time we turned around to record something, we saw something else. And then when we wanted to go back to it, it was like, where was that? Because there are like all these different like angular like units and stuff that it was awesome. And then we found so much more and other stuff. Hi, Penny Larissa. That would be something I would love to see. Okay, so we got one person that says, yeah. Okay, so I would love to go through it again because I want to know how many I actually have, because I know when I unpacked, not this, but those two up there, I were part of it, because this is all my Shandy yarn from Expression Fiber Arts. And then this yarn is like from Mace of Skeins, from oh my God, my friend Michelle. Oh, I can't. Why do I not have her? She's not dyeing yarn anymore right now anyway, but like that was part of it. And then everything in these cubbies from the third row up was included in the unpacking, except for a good bulk of that cubby and this cubby behind me. Oh my gosh, seriously. This cubby behind me wasn't part of it. And what's on the table or the desk wasn't part of it. So there's a lot more. And we were at 300 something hanks then. So I would be interested to see. Okay, so we've got 2 Me Too. So I think I'm going to do it. All right, so let's go through this. So Mass Avenue Knit Shop, if you're ever in Indianapolis, whether you live there or you're visiting, it's totally a shop to check out. But I know Becky, because Becky has been with me for years and years and years. My mom, I don't know that she paid attention to it, but I mean, she's obviously been around forever. Mr. Boyfriend knows because I told him, and he saw how gaga I got over it. But I've always wanted HHF yarn, which is, oh my God. Hedgehog yarns, hedgehog fibers. I've always wanted one of their hanks of yarn. However, they tend to be very expensive. They're from Ireland. They tend to be very expensive. But I love their yarn. But the biggest thing that I love about their yarn is their label, because it has a holographic strip on it. I know that's a crazy reason to want their yarn, but I am all about holographic. So she had HHF yarn. Now she did, for the most part, have like fingering, sport, DK, worsted, chunky, but then there were other sections that had other stuff. So this was novelty yarn that was HHF. Both Mr. Boyfriend and I saw it, and he's my enabler. Mr. Boyfriend and I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then we saw a sample that had this yarn worked into it, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. When my mom saw it, she's like, oh, that looks like paper. And I'm like, yeah, it really does. And Becky was like, oh, that's awesome too. Because my mom was the first person to see it, and then Becky was the second person to see it. You guys are the next set of people to see it, because the videos are not posted yet. But check this HHF. See what I'm saying? Look at that holographic strip. Oh my gosh. I could just sit here and look at that all night long. Anyway, so it's HHF yarn. It's their feather collection. It's 100 grams, 620 meters, 100% polyamide. It's machine washable, which I don't know that I would want to do that. And dry away from direct sunlight, not in a dryer. And Mr. Boyfriend's like, you have plenty of yarn that you can find to work with this. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. But check it out. It's a beautiful, it's not, it's like a marigold, maybe yellow. It's not like a bright yellow. It's like almost like, I don't want to say goldish yellow, but you can see the cable. I haven't been able to separate it even once. Not cable, but the, I guess yarn it's on. I don't know that I would call it yarn, but anyway, so it almost looks like paper, but it is so fun. So it was like, yeah, that's a must have. And I am still drooling. Yeah, Becky and our server or waitress at the restaurant in January when I had oh, which one was it? Oh, it was this yarn down here. I had 4 of them, and they each were like ready to pound, like knock me over, and each grabbed 2 of them. I mean, they were like seriously wanting that stuff. Okay, so that's one. That's not going in the bottom. I'll reposition this later. Then I tried to do yarn dyers that I've never had before. So this is stitched together. I've known of them. I don't think I've ever had their yarn. And I don't think they were a small business that I worked with when I was doing that whole thing for a year plus. But this is their frugal fingering. It's 100% superwash merino, 100 grams, 490 yards. And their colorway is July 2020 Summer Glow. Look at that. I'm telling you, this camera is somehow wacko because it's nowhere near how it used to be. But anyway, it's like hot pink. It's not pink. On my side, it's not showing how hot pink it is. It's like hot pink. It's got like some light pink into almost orange with this beautiful blue. This like, oh my gosh, this is just, it's just amazing. But anyway, so we got 2 of these. There's plenty in there to work something up. This one has a little bit more. Oops, I'm sorry. This one has a little bit more of the blue there than this one, but I think they're going to work up beautifully together. So that's stitched together. Hold on a second. My throat is so dry. Okay. I got 2 different colorways, which happen to be 2 different sizes from the same yarn dyer. I've never had Knitted Wit. I have seen their stuff multiple times. This is their DK weight. It's Flowers in Your Hair is the colorway. It's 100% superwash merino, 280 yards to 4 ounces, which is 100 grams. And hand wash, lay flat to dry. So this is Flowers in Your Hair. We got 3 of these because the way Mr. Boyfriend thinks, and I have no problem thinking it too, there's going to be an ad running in 15 seconds, is if there's 2 on a shelf, you can't just take 1, you got to take 2. And if there's 3, you can't just take 2, you got to take all 3. And if there's 3 or 4 and you want 3, you have to take 4. I mean, who am I to argue with that? I mean, really? So we got 3 of these. There were actually more of them, but they didn't match as well. These matched the best. And this is so not, on my side, is not doing it any justice. This is like a beautiful, like lime green, which that looks pretty close to it. But this is pink, but it's like almost not quite burgundy, but a really deep pink. And then it's got some lighter pinks in there. And then the really light pink, and then the cream. So there are 3 of those, and that's Knitted Wit. So that's awesome. You guys want to make suggestions on what to make with all of it? Feel free. Now, I will say I appreciate his thinking because I have, outside of all of the yarn that Mr. Boyfriend has gotten me, which, oh my gosh, are these 2 cubbies and these 2 cubbies behind me here. That's all Mr. Boyfriend yarn. So is this that I'm showing you right now. Everything else the 6 cubbies behind me in the center, and then those 2 cubbies up here, 75% of it is all single hanks. There are some, like in Shandy's yarn, that I have multiples of, or Mace of Skeins, I think I have a couple of multiples. And then I have a couple, oh my gosh, this is irritating me because it's not the way it used to be. I have a couple, like several right there of those and stuff. But so I appreciate having more than one because you can do a larger project. Now, there are projects that you can find. You can type in like single skein shawl, and you'll find a bunch depending on the weight that you have of yarn. But so I appreciate that way of thinking. But this is knitted with also, it's their sock weight. It's called Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 420 yards to 4 ounces, hand wash, lay flat to dry. Now, this yarn you could do, let's say, socks with, because it's got the nylon in there, which will give the strength that a wearable like that would need. Whereas on the other one, it's 100% superwash merino. I wouldn't do like a pair of socks or something like that with it. Cantaloupe. Direct me on where you're referring to that for, because I can't remember what I said that would have you would have said that too. Sorry. I'll have to look at the replay tonight so the ads can run. I'm not wasting time looking at the yarn again. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because Becky saw this here. She actually held it in her hands. Anyway, so this is Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. We have 4 of them, but it's this beautiful. They did a beautiful job with the black. It's like black with white and this beautiful. It's brighter on my camera than it is. It's like a deep blood red. It's amazing. And we got 4 of those. So, and we got ones that matched as close together as possible. This is amazing. I actually have something similar with Mace of Skeins for her first anniversary. She did a box, but I think it was like a black, a red, and then a black, red, and white or something like that. But this is just amazing. I've never had anything like it. Okay. Then I had seen, as we were recording, I was like, oh my God, she has Ruby and Roses. I don't know if you guys know Ruby and Roses, but hey Nat, hey all. Hey Tammy, welcome. How are you, my friend? And I got to have dinner with Tammy and her boyfriend. Sorry, husband. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got to have dinner with them, with Mr. Boyfriend and my mom, and it was awesome. And we got to catch up because we haven't seen each other in a couple of years. But anyway, so I saw that they have Ruby and Roses. And if you don't know Ruby and Roses, you have to go to the website. I think it's rubyandroses.com. Yeah, rubyandrosesyarn.com. She does amazing work. She just did a Taylor Swift collection, which was incredible. I missed out on getting the I think it was Bedazzled. But anyway, I've wanted some of her yarn for so long. I actually wanted her Christmas Advent the last couple of years, but it wasn't in the cards. So when I saw it, I was like, OMG. And there was one with sparkle. And I was like, this is incredible. I have to get the Ruby and Roses. So I got 2 hanks of it. And then as it turns out, on our way back, we were talking to Susan when we were checking out, and I said, she was scanning the Ruby and Roses. I said, oh my God, I've wanted Ruby and Roses forever. And she goes, it's a shame you guys are going to Florida because she's just north of here by a little bit. And I was like, are you kidding me? Well, as it turns out, as we're coming back home from Florida, we're stopping in Indiana, and we happen to be in the town that she doesn't have a shop. It's a studio. It's not you can't just walk in there and buy yarn. It's her studio where she dyes yarn and that. But it was Sunday though. And of course she's closed, but I was like, I'm like, oh my God, we have to go. I have to go look at it. So in the video that includes Tammy and Becky, I'll have the clip and I reached out to Addie on Instagram, and I said, do you mind if I include that clip in my video? And she was like, thanks for asking, but no, absolutely, go ahead. So I'm excited to share that with you because, oh my gosh, her yarn is just incredible. But anyway, so this is Ruby and Rose's yarn. It's Spectra Specs is the colorway. It's on her rose gold base, 437 yards to 100 grams. It's 80% merino, 15% nylon, and 5% gold stellina. I prefer silver or holographic stellina, but stellina is my favorite sparkle yarn, and those of you that know me know that. But look at it's so beautiful. I can see the sparkle. I'm hoping you can too. I prefer when there's 10% stellina, but I'll take 5%. But it's got this beautiful sparkle, and there's this like teal in it and this like purpley pink, and then the speckling in there. She does amazing speckling work. This is the other one, which actually has a little bit more blue, less green, but it's incredible. It was so awesome. I was so excited to get this. It's not even funny. And then to have seen her studio, wow. Okay, so there's that. I'm doing good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. The fluffy yarn that you were showing, you were trying to describe the color, and I thought maybe it was close to the color of cantaloupe. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Mom. Hope you're doing okay. Yes, much better. Thank you. Yeah. As of her appointment on the 29th after a CT scan that she was going to, no more chemo. Her Herceptin that she's going to be on maintenance every 3 weeks is all she needs for now. And she has her next scan in July after 12 weeks. And we're hoping that everything will be gone because all of the tumors, I think he said there were 4. 3 of them are completely gone, and the one has significant shrank significantly. And he was pleasantly surprised at the results. He wasn't thinking that's what it was going to be. So yeah, so that's amazing. We're very excited. Okay, so then Mr. Boyfriend, I'm looking for him, and he's sitting on the floor. And he's going through these yarns, and he's like, oh my God, look, isn't this amazing? So we kind of went through a bunch of them, and we got 3 that were as close to being similar. But it's hard for me to see who this is. It's Plymouth Yarn, but I think it's their Revel. I think it's made in Italy. It's shade number 14. It's 50 grams at 275 yards each. My mom adored this. What is it made out of? I think that's yeah. Hello. 85% baby alpaca, 15% merino wool. It is so amazingly soft. It's not funny. But we got 3 of these. And it's one of those yarns where the more you dig in, like the different, the more colors and stuff you're going to get. Okay, that's not working here because it's all in different angles. But, there's this one that's got that like burgundy, not really burgundy, but beautiful jewel tones. And that was amazing and so ridiculously soft. Oh my gosh, so soft. Here's hoping these don't fall, so they don't get all furry. Then there was a sale yarn in the back of the store. And we saw a couple of things, picked it up. One of them, I couldn't choose which one. Mr. Boyfriend's like, okay, close your eyes. He stepped away with both of them. I opened my eyes. He's like, which one? And I kind of like both. So we ultimately got both. But this one is Ziggy. I don't know if it's St. Charles or just S. Charles, but it's their Ziggy line. It's 30% wool, 50% viscose, 20% polyamide. It's 50 grams and 60 yards. The colorway is number 2. Now there's only 60 yards, and that's all I have because she didn't have any more of it. But look at that. Isn't it awesome? Now, she said this was something that people were using when there was a big fad of like lining the edges of like purses and stuff. So, I mean, it's like you could really you could knit this, but there's only 60 yards. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that, but this was just super cool. Then these were the things that I was talking about. We ended up getting both of them, but as it turns out, I'm not sure how to use this. I think it was something that she said people use to line things with, But okay, something is happening with these ads because one just ran recently and I skipped this ad. It's irritating me and I don't want to irritate you guys. So I'm hoping that whatever it happens is, I don't know. So happy, Mom. Thank you so much. It was so nice seeing you and meeting Tommy. Yes. So anyway, so there's this one, which is pink and it's got like green and orange in it. But this is what it is. And I hadn't pulled it out until I did the video. And I'm trying to, you know what? I'll show you on the orange one. I had to do this really tight. Then there's this orange one. Now, the thing is what this is, it's got like this strand that it's attached to. And then it's just like these fringes and stuff. And there are different levels, different heights, different everything. So I'm not exactly sure. This isn't something that I think could be easily crocheted. Maybe it could. I don't know, with a thick enough yarn. I mean, a needle, a hook. But we have no idea how many yards are on each of these. They're each different. And this thing, it says 12 yards on all of them, even though this one is thicker than this one. So we don't know. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with them. But this was in her sale section. She had an amazing button collection. She has a bunch of yarns that she does herself, that she winds herself, which I think it's a lot. I don't know if it's like scraps that are then tied together or how she does it, but that's kind of how it kind of looks. This was all that was left from that Lovey, by the way, just a little bit. Anyway, so that was that yarn haul. Then, as far as like the sale yarn that I'm now looking for, and it's funny, when I had lunch with Rose Likes Crochet, we were talking about our channels and stuff, and she's like, you're known for your hand-dyed yarns, and that's like your thing. And she's like, for me, I'm always looking for the sale yarns. And I said, yeah. And she goes, it wouldn't be Natalie if you did, like, if you were looking for sale yarns or something like that. And so on I think on her last Wings video, on the comment, I was saying something about all the people that were donating stuff. And then I said, P.S., remember how you said that it wouldn't be Natalie, or it wouldn't be Natalie's Closet or something like that if there was talk of sale yarn? I said, well, a surprise or something like that. I'm now on the hunt for sale yarn. And she goes, oh my God, I can't wait to see the video. But okay, go for your walk. Okay, go for your walk. Daddy's taking Miley out for her night walk. What are you doing? Go. I don't know why she's acting all bashful and stuff now. Anyway, okay, so I have it in this big Costco bag from like 4 different stores. Yeah, so now I'm like looking always for acrylic yarns or the chenille, thicker yarns and stuff. But anyway, so the first store I went to is called Savers, and it's like a secondhand store here. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but I know they're here. And so I went there, and we've always checked the yarn like section anytime we've gone to Goodwill or Savers or wherever. And I wasn't shopping or looking for that type of yarn, but I would look, and I'm like, well, no, that's a little overpriced, or okay, that's, oh my gosh, oh my yarn just fell. Oh man. Okay, this is not smart. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that after. This is like asking for trouble. Hold on, let me put at least that away, and the rest of this should be okay. I'll pick up the rest of it at the end. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to match these colors. You guys tell me if it's a good price. I think it was a decent price. But anyway, I don't think they make this anymore, or maybe they do, I don't know, but it's Red Heart Baby Clouds. And there were 3 of these, and it matches perfectly with a couple of the animals that I have for lovies. But it's this beautiful, like, kind of like teal and blue and stuff. So all 3 of these were $7.99. I mean, I think that's a reasonable price. I don't know. You tell me. Then this batch was also $7.99. I think that this one may have been partially used, which kind of sucks because I think I need all of it. But it's Bernat Baby Jacquards. Is it Jacquards? Jacquards? I can't remember how to say that. But it's 100 grams, 346 yards, which that one with a worsted weight took 200 yards, I think. And this is no thicker than a sport weight. So it's going to be interesting. I was thinking about double stranding it, but I don't think I'll have enough. So I'll just have to work until it goes. Then I was thinking, I'm going to skip this ad too. I was originally thinking about, I needed a red, but this is not like fire engine red. Plus, it's Patton's classic wool. So it's got merino in it, and I don't know that I should use that for baby stuff, even though I have, and I do some baby blankets with fingering weight wool yarn. I don't know. Plus, it's not like the fire engine red, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. And then this one, I don't know what it is. It's a Lion brand, but I can't tell what it is. So anyway, this matches one of my animals. This one matches one almost perfectly, but then at Walmart, I saw a mandala that matched like even better, but I wasn't paying $6 for it. So this one ended up matching another one even better because another yarn I have matched the other one better. But this one was also $7.99. So I think these were reasonable prices for these 2 batches. I don't know. You guys tell me. And I know it's a little quiet in here tonight, but this was kind of like, I don't normally do my lives on Wednesday nights, and I think there are other people that do lives. Then after that, I went to Goodwill, and then I got this yarn, which I was planning on going back to see if I could get the other packages. One package had 2 skeins or 2 cakes of it, and then the other 2 had 3 cakes. They were hand wound, and I have a feeling it has wool in it because it doesn't feel like acrylic, and it doesn't look like acrylic on the end, but it matches the bear that I have perfectly. I cannot find a brown to match this thing anywhere. This, between the black in it and the brown, it's like a perfect match. So I think I'm going to go with it, but I don't know what it is. I do believe it's hand dyed though, but it's this beautiful rich brown with black. And even if it's not hand dyed, and even if it is acrylic, I think I still got a good deal. But it's so beautiful. On here, it's not doing it justice, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I have no idea what the yardage is. It is kind of, even though it's plied, it's roving, which because it goes thinner to thicker. But 3 of these cakes, whether acrylic or not, which I don't think it is, I think it's wool, and hand dyed, for sure categorized as at least the worsted weight. I got 3 of these cakes for $3.49. I think that's a great deal. I think $3.49 for 3 of these. That's why I was tempted to go back and get more, because it's such a great deal. Yeah, good deal. I do think they're not in circulation anymore though. Yeah, make sure your project won't need extra. Thankfully not. It's just the lovies for the 3 blue ones, and the same, and that's where I'm not sure about that yellow pink one. Kind of makes me nervous, but oh, my receipt, I need that. Anyway, so $3.49 for this. I have to go back to that Goodwill and see if I can find more of it, because it's just stupid to not get it in my mind. Oh, that brown is pretty. My colors for sure. I know, right? It's amazing. Oh my God, super great deal. Yeah, go get more. I'll take some. I'll pay. Okay, well, I'll go and actually, I'm going to be near the Walmart. I'm going to be at the Walmart across the street from that Goodwill. So I'll go check tomorrow. So then I went to, that was Goodwill. Then I went to Joann's. Now, you all know I hate Red Heart Super Saver. Like, with a passion. However, I need inexpensive, which it isn't anymore. At least retail. And I need inexpensive, and I need to match these things. They're for lovies. Tammy, I don't think you were in here. Like, I did this one. Like, it's to match these little bears or the little animals. So I got one Red Heart Super Saver. Ugh, it's so scratchy to me, and you all know I'm all about soft yarn. And then I got Big Twist, because Big Twist value, which I think is a little bit softer than Super Saver, was on sale for $2.99 a ball or skein. And I found a couple of, well, actually all the colors match one or more of the animals. And then the Super Saver matches one, possibly another one, but it's an American, it was the American Beanie Baby. So anyway, the Super Saver, I had a 50% off one retail price item. So I got this for $2.99, I think. But it's the American one, red, white, and blue. It matches like perfectly. So it's so scratchy. But have you checked the Mainstay yarn? I did, but I was having to get anything that was on sale. And if it wasn't on sale, I couldn't get it. And I'm almost positive it wasn't. I can't say that for sure. I can't remember for sure. I was in too many places doing too many things. I was just, too much old. As I can't remember who said that. My aunt, my uncle. Anyway, so this one matches. This is Big Twist. Matches one of the bears like exactly. I don't know if it's a bear, but matches him exactly. And then I got a Fire Engine Red, which it doesn't look like that on camera, but it's like Fire Engine Red. It's Varsity Red is the name of it. But I'm glad I did, because I don't think the other two were going to match properly, which makes that bag for $7.99 not the best deal if I'm not actually going to be using the yarn. So, you know. Then one of the bears is a Halloween one. His little bow is more of like a gold orange. And the little pumpkin, he's black. And then the little pumpkin that he has on him is that gold orange and then like this deeper orange. But I could not find an orange to match him. And since the lovey's going to be over the neck, I'm like, who cares what orange it is? So I went with like bright orange. I could have gotten this gold orange. I may have done a little bit better, but this is Varsity Orange. So I guess there's a theme here. And then I saw Karen Simply Soft, which if I'm going to use acrylic, that's the acrylic I want to use. But it wasn't on sale. It was like $5 something, which I remember when they were like $3.99. But anyway, actually, I even think I remember like $2.99. But I was like, and it had that beautiful sheen to it. And so I had sent Mr. Boyfriend a picture of that with the two bears that I was thinking about. And he's like, yeah, I think that matches. And I'm like, oh, I so want to get it, but I so don't want to pay that price, or I don't want to pay retail price. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I could have gotten 50% off. Duh, I just realized that. I actually, at the time, I didn't know I had that coupon. But so I went with the Big Twist, which it's basically the same pink, but doesn't have the sheen to it. But this is like hot pink, like hot, bright pink. Is this Varsity Pink? No, it's hot pink. Anyway, so that's what I got at Joann's. I think the total was like 14 something. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that was Joann's. Then I went to Walmart and was so absolutely no yarn, half of an aisle for yarn, and there was like nothing there, at least in my mind, that there was nothing there. And I didn't think the prices were that great. The mandalas were like $5.49 or $5.99. I don't know if that's a good price or not, but considering the prices I saw of some stuff that I've seen at other places that was way cheaper at other places, I was like, I don't know. So I didn't get anything there. Although there was a mandala that would have been perfect, like I said, for that yellow and pink one. That one would have been better, but it's okay. So then I went to Michael's, and I went to Michael's specifically to see if they had the Premier tubular yarn and something else that I could feel it, because it was something new and something thicker, and it was online. But I wanted to feel it first, and they didn't have it. So I kind of looked at everything else, but nothing basically was on sale. So I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. But then as I'm turning away to go walk out, I saw this yarn that caught my attention for one of the animals that I could not find a purple for. The purple for it was just not something anywhere. So I was like, okay, well, it's purple and it's got black accents. I'm like, you know what? I think this is perfect because it's amazing yarn. Because it's got electric purple. It's got this neon green, not neon, but like a really beautiful lime green and the black. I'm like, I brought it home. I put it against it, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think it's going to work. So I got 2 of those. There were only 2 of them. I got both of them. They were not on sale. I think they were like $3.99 a piece or something like that. But it's loops and threads, Charisma. It's 100% acrylic and 100 meters. So anyway, here's fingers crossed. I think I'm just going to have enough. Although this is a bulky versus the worsted. But anyway, so that's the 2 yarn hauls. I told you about my plan for craft fairs. I showed you the 2 animals I made, or the lovey and the stuffy that I made. I gave you Mom's update. I said if there's time we'll do trivia, but I mean we're already, wow, we're only at an hour 15 minutes, but it's still an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not leaving quite yet, but purple, really cool looking. Yeah, that one is amazing. And when I saw, but it's funny because I have a mandala that I think is almost exactly like this. Wait a minute. I'll be right back. Mr. Boyfriend is doing something, and it's a ritual that I'm there with him. Hold on. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hold on, I'll be right there. Okay, sorry. And I said goodnight to him just in case he goes to sleep. But if he doesn't go to sleep right now, and I'm still on when he does go to sleep, he's going to come back to say goodnight. Sorry. Anyway, what are you doing backing into me? Are you saying hi to your peeps? It's like, I can't see you. This is a glass tabletop. I'm looking up at you guys, but you guys can't see me. But I'm here. Hi, my peeps. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I think I have a mandala that is similar, if not the same. Although I think the mandala is thicker than that. At least in my mind's eye, it's thicker. It's in one of the bins in front of my desk somewhere. I mean, I saw it just the other day, but there's only one of them. So if it's almost the same and it's the same size, and I run out of this, I may just use that. I mean, why not? Anyway, Tammy says, Miley, she gives you 2 hearts. Okay, her ears went up. It's so cute how excited she gets it with Daddy, because he had to run an errand in town, and I was going to be taking her for a walk, so I took her for a walk, and we were passing by with a building, and I was like, Daddy's right there, he's in that building. Oh my goodness, she was leaping and twisting and jumping and everything, and it was just the cutest thing. And then today, as we happened to be passing the same area, and she stopped and looked at that building, and then we kept on going, and I was like, wow, she actually remembered. And it was only one time that we did it. But anyway, so really quick, I forgot, I wanted to talk about the concert that we went to in Indianapolis. You guys know we're metalheads, we're into heavy metal. And this t-shirt is from a concert we saw just like last week, I think, which is a Ukrainian band, Ginger, and that's why it's blue and yellow, and the sunflowers, which is and skulls, which is the like state flower of Ukraine. But and Ever Morphing was the band, that one of the opening bands right before them is also a Ukrainian band. It was the first time they ever played in Milwaukee, the first time they ever played in Wisconsin, and the first time they ever played as a group in the United States. Their bass guitarist, unfortunately, wasn't able to come into the country. There was a problem with his visa. I don't know what that situation was, but I got to talk to him, to the singer, and he signed our t-shirt. Not this one, though, for their band. He signed the t-shirt, and it was just really cool. We talked to some of the girlfriends or wives of some of the band members, and it was really awesome. And the band before them, I can't remember their name. They were good, but Ever Morphing, amazing band. Ginger, incredible. The female singer, her name is oh my gosh, Tatiana. And she does the that like the yelling, like that deep, like the first when we were listening to them on our way back from Florida. And I thought it was a guy singing. I didn't really know much about the band. I knew there was a female singer, and I heard her singing at times, but then I heard who I thought was a guy. As it turns out, it's her. And I mean, she does an amazing. It's an incredible band. You have to check them out. And that's Ginger, Jinjer. But an Ever Morphing is the other one. But in Indianapolis, we went to go see the Death Clock show. We were originally planning, or the plan was a vacation like a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier than that, and then we were going to see this particular concert, but in South Carolina. Anyway, somewhere there. And as it turns out, we weren't able to go then. And then, as it turned out, when we were able to go, Miley, are you okay? What's wrong? Are you okay? She started breathing weird. They were playing in Indianapolis, so we went. I'm skipping the ads. But we went to go see Death Clock. Now, if anybody knows Death Clock, it's a band that's also tied into Metalocalypse, which is a TV show that was out for a couple of years. And they, the guy, Brendan Small, the creator of, I'm going to say it all wrong. But anyway, he, like, the songs that they were creating for the band that was playing, that the band members in Metalocalypse, they were the death clock. The guys were singing and they were like, so are we in a band? Like the real guy, you know, like they're singing together and they're like, are we in a band? And like, yeah, I mean, might as well be. So it was Death Clock is the band that like plays in Metalocalypse. Anyway, oh my God. I mean, we've been to now 27 shows together. I've 28 shows in my entire life, 27 of them in the last year. And we've been to some powerful shows like Guar and I mean, all these like amazing bands. But I told Mr. Boyfriend, I'm like, oh my God, Death Clock was the band we were seeing. The openers were Necrogoblicon was the first opener, which was amazing. The Goblin was there. And then Dragon Force was the other opener. Wow, you got to check out their guitarist if you are into even if you're not into guitars, you can appreciate how they play. But and the bass player, but and then Death Clock was the headliner, and OMG, incredible. I told Mr. Boyfriend, I said, this was probably the most intense, most what was the word I used? Most intense, I mean, it was incredible. But they haven't played as a band for like 10 years because the show was canceled, and because they were tied in together, he wasn't allowed to use the Death Clock name or do anything like that. And so, but now they're back and they have another movie coming out, and it was like they had like clips from like the show playing on the big screen behind them, but like just the power in how they play and the music that they play, and it was like holy cats. I mean, it was just like wow. And as it turns out, we ended up meeting one of Mr. Boyfriend's friends that he knows from work, and she's like, we always meet each other in like all these like crazy places at concerts and stuff. And so, you know, we were right at the rail because that's where we like to try and be, not in the center because we don't want to have to deal with the body surfers and the mosh pits. But we're like stage right or stage left. But that concert was incredible. And then the Ginger concert was awesome too. But yeah, if you like metal, heavy metal, you got to check out all of these bands. Necrogoblicon, Dragon Force, Death Clock for sure, and then Ginger and Evermorphing. They all amazing bands. I mean, these bands that we've been, and then we're going to Milwaukee Metal Fest, which is going to be exciting. Just not sure like when we're going yet, but so yeah, it was an awesome experience. And it was, oh wait, where did I get what? Yeah, when we went to the Ginger concert, is that when I got a pick from all three bands for Mr. Boyfriend? And it was cool because we were like, yes. Because like typically where we're standing, we're either in front of the guitarist or the bass guitarist. Sometimes we're like off a little bit further to the side, but typically we're like right in front of them. So I try to get their attention. Sometimes it's hard for them to see the crowd, but then other times they're able to. And I always try to catch their eye. And then a lot of times you're like doing the metal sign and all this other stuff. So, I mean, are they really seeing what it is you're saying? But I'll go like this, and then they know it's their picks. And most bands now they have like this thing on the microphone where they can slide picks in so they could just throw them out to the crowd and stuff. One of the bands had it on top of the like speaker or the amp, but I was like, because I try to get a pick. If it's like a band that we really love, I try to get a pick from them. We have so many. Mr. Boyfriend has so many picks that I've gotten. We have so many drumsticks, which now I've had the presence of mind to actually write down the band that it is, because they're, you know, like regular drumsticks. And so now I've had the president's mind to write their name on it, but I've had some actually the drummers sign the drumstick. We've gotten so many set lists and stuff. This time I was only able to get a pick from each band, but it was awesome because I think all three bands, like, they were like yes. And so, sometimes they just throw the pick at you and you have to hope to catch it and that it doesn't fall somewhere around you, because people sometimes are like sharks and they're like, and they just like swarm in to grab it. But anybody that was around us saw that they, actually the first two bands handed it to the security guard that was right in front of them to hand to me. And then the guy from Ginger, he ended up throwing it directly to me, which was awesome. But yeah, totally amazing bands. Which I forgot to add Ginger and Evermorphing into the tags. But anyway, so I don't know what you guys are working on. I hope you guys are all doing well. I think I'm going to start wrapping up because it's actually, oh, wow, it's just now an hour and a half. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. I may put this yarn away tomorrow. Well, I'm going to pick that yarn up. Okay, I got one of them. Okay, I can't reach the other ones without getting up and moving everything. But I will pick those up off the floor. I don't want them to stay there. Thankfully, there's not a lot of Miley fur back there because she never gets back there. She just basically is under the desk and out the door. Not that her fur doesn't fly around and stuff, but anyway, so thank you guys for being here. I know I don't normally do my lives on Wednesdays, and I know there are a lot of people that do lives on Wednesday night. So I appreciate the fact that you guys were here. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that also. Yarn abuse. I know, seriously. And I had two people say that they are, I don't know if you guys were specifically talking about a live, like I said, or a recorded video of me going through all of my hand. Okay, it's my regular camera that I'm used to, not anyway, all of my hand dyed yarn, like going through it, counting them, see how much now that I have, since so much has been added thanks to Mr. Boyfriend. And just go, well, all of this behind me, and then those two, oh my God, that's going to be a pain to have to pull all that down without, okay, I'll do it for the love of yarn. But I have two people that said, yes, they're in for it. They would love to see it. So, maybe I'll do that. That could be just like a series of lives, like for a couple of, like 2-3 lives or whatever. So we'll play that by ear, but you've got to make your stuff and get from the bands. Wait, I got to make a what? Because the stupid heart. I mean, I don't mind the heart, but let me send this so maybe the word will go up. Okay, now how do I make this go away? How do I make the... How do I make all of this stuff go away? Like the emojis and stuff. What did I just do? Engage with your audience. How do I engage? Oh, I could start a poll. Oh, well, there's only 7 people. But I know a bunch of people are... Okay, let's start a poll. Would you like to see me go through all my hand-dyed yarn and count how many I have? Yes or no? Oh, I'll do yes, no, maybe. Okay. Start poll. All right, let's do this poll, and then I'm gonna leave. So I don't know who or if anybody's gonna answer. I did have 2 yeses. I had Becky and Nifty. I think it was Nifty. Okay, so where was I going with that? Anyway, so I will have a couple of it. I have to edit and get the videos put together and set up, and if I can do them all in one sitting, I'll just go ahead and upload them and schedule them to just post, every couple of days or whatever. And then I need to record my giveaway, which would be nice to get this massive box out of here. I have to record that giveaway and try to do it so that the video is not really long, but I have to show all the yarn for each winner. So I don't know. I have to figure that one out. But anyway, so yeah, I got a lot of stuff that's coming up. And yeah. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night or day or wherever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Miley says bye to her peeps. Mr. Boyfriend said to say good night. And my mom, I think, said good night, or said just in case I fall asleep, good night or whatever. But thank you all so incredibly much for all of your continued thoughts and prayers for her, for us, for everybody. Thank you so incredibly much. I'm going to skip this ad also. Remember, for every season, there's a reason to crochet. Love, hugs, and prayers to everybody. Extra prayers for those who need it. If you need extra prayers but don't want to share publicly, email me at natalies.closet@yahoo.com. Let me know the prayer. We'll add you to our private prayer list. But if you don't mind me sharing it publicly but anonymously, let me know that also, and I will go ahead and do that. Remember, be positive, and I hope to be back on here next week. I'm just not sure which day, but I'll send out notifications and let people know, and post it in the Facebook page or Facebook group and the community tab. Let's see. Bye all night to everyone. Have an amazing night and wonderful tomorrow. Hugs. Love you always. And my thoughts and prayers. Same to you, Tammy. Have a great night, everybody. Okay, so what? No, I want to see the poll. Okay, there we go. Well, it says 100% yes. I don't know how. Oh, there were 3 votes. Okay, so we got three people that said yes. So you guys are the ones that decided that's how we're going to do it. So we'll see. I guess what I should have put on there is okay. So yes is 100%. Poll complete. 3 votes. Okay, awesome. So I'll decide if that's just going to be the next, couple of lives, and we'll go through it that way, or if I'll just do like a special extra live or something. I don't know. We'll play it by ear and see how it goes. All right, guys. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much again for being here, and it was great seeing you, Tammy and Becky, and of course seeing my mom. But all right, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Have a great night. Bye.